got it.
Hey, Amy.
Hello, mon chéri in Montreal. Sylviane, how are you today?
I'm so good. Friday is my favorite day of the week. So lots of coffee
Nice.
for now.
Ooh, that yummy coffee with maple syrup that you made for me when we were visiting in Montreal just recently, when
And
we
with the
actually
oatmeal.
decided to start this podcast, right?
hmm We have so much to say. I don't know. I don't
Where to
know
begin?
where to begin. I don't know where to
I'm sure
begin.
we'll figure it out because, like, I'm a bit of a blabbermouth and, we have a lot to share, don't we?
So how are things in Boston, in your area?
They're pretty good. We've had really good weather like we did when we were in Canada visiting just recently. Keegan and I went up to see Sylviane and her 5 kids.
Yes.
We had just a blast there. And that's where we kind of came up with this idea that we should start sharing our humility, our hilariousness, and our words of wisdom.
That sounds absolutely right. Amy is one of the kindest person I know, but also the funniest, which is just awesome combination for
Makes
our
for good
party.
lunacy. Well, especially when we're both raising 5 kids, I mean, you have to have a little mix. Sylvienne's my grounded guidance person, counselor, girlfriend, best friend, life coach, because you can kind of center me and ground me, and then I can kind of be the impulsive lunatic, which I like to be.
Yeah,
That's what I'm best at.
yes. At your times.
And Sylvian's been studying now for a year to become a naturopath in the great old city of Montreal. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, at 50 years old, I thought, what is my passion? Of course, the passion of my life is my kids. I love them so much, but they're growing, they're leaving the nest, and I thought, what is it? And I always loved the human body, uh, physical health, psychological health, and spiritual, and all this balance. So I thought, why don't I study into holistic health and nutrition? That started my path. And actually, 2 years later, I graduated, and now I'm also a member of the Naturopath of Quebec here. So I've started my business about a week ago when Amy and Keegan were visiting, and that was like a good omen on October 7th, 2021. And I think
Absolutely.
I have a lot to share, and Amy's been one of my biggest supporters, and yeah, awesome.
Always.
And we
We've been
decided,
each other's supporters for a long time, right? When I lived in Montreal, close to you, back in like 94 to 97, I guess.
yeah,
And we became best friends and kind of continued ever since then. And now we're getting into our, like, I don't know, midlife of life, is it? Or a little bit more like the
yeah.
empty nester sort of thing going on?
Midlife is good, is a good one. I think I'd like to call it midlife, and 50 is pretty much a midlife. I don't know if we'll live till 100, but
Hey,
we,
God willing, maybe we will. Maybe we'll be cloned by that point.
we don't know.
Imagine 20 of me running all over the universe. It'd be like minions everywhere.
Well, that's the energy that inspired me. Your energy. I met you when I was pregnant of my first, pregnant of Jasmine, and she, you were already a mom, and you were such a caring, loving mom. And I'm like, this is what I want to be. I want to be loving, caring, funny. You had so much energy doing this, that, traveling around the world for work and taking care of your babies, and that was so inspiring. And you
And
still
it's so
inspire me.
funny. Oh, good. And you inspire me. It's wonderful in friendships how the tides turn, right? Like, at one point I was your mentor and then you became my mentor. And it was like back and forth through divorces, through trials and tribulations with our children.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
absolutely.
busy when your kids are young, but you're a heck of a lot busier and more worried emotionally when your children are teenagers. And,
Yeah.
those adult problems become real big deals. And so you know, we decided to do this so we could share to any other women that are going through menopause, the baby boomer generation, the empty nest syndrome. I mean, all of it. And then wondering where you are after being, you know, domestic engineers, as I like to say. But you know, stay-at-home moms, right? Like Sylviane went and studied and became a naturopath, which is like a huge thing to be able to do and to take on. And I can see the newfound energy and like a youthful soul in you, just your whole presence, your body language, your posture, your energy is super high. And, you know, you can feel that this experience, even though it's devastating to us having our children, especially our girls, move out and be independent, like you said to me when I was having my mental breakdown about it just a few summers ago, and you said, Amy, it's our time. It's our time now, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, how perfectly put when you said that, right? Because it is our time and we have to be there for each other and motivate each other and help each other through this other phase of our life so that we still fulfill my goodness, have a speech impediment much, Amy? But, you know, fulfill the rest of our lives. You know what I mean?
It's so scary in one way, but it's so invigorating. It's so, when you find your passion, you just, you want to learn more, and then you step out of your comfort zone. And it is scary in the fifth, you know, at starting 50 years old, you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I really going to do that? But every day I wake up and I'm scared, but I'm thinking, or scared,
Yeah.
how do you say it?
Scared? No, that's perfect. But it's like it's an adrenaline high scared though, right? It's like, okay, can I do this? Will I do it? Will I succeed? Am I good enough? But it's an excitement to try it, right? Instead of a scared, like, holy shit, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Scared. You know what I mean?
No, it's just like every day it's scary, but at the same time it's exciting, and I'm learning. My gosh, my learning curve is, I think, more than 90 degrees. It's like so crazy, but I'm just, and to be able to share this with good friends that are so happy for me, like to share it with you, it's just so meaningful, and it makes
Exactly.
me fall in love with my life all over again. I mean, again and again and again. So it's so, I don't know where that's going to lead me. I don't even know if I'll make money. Right now I'm not making money, but I'm learning a lot and I'm passionate, and I know I can share stuff, like, but I like to hear also, like, I'm open to learn more even. So, and I'm learning from,
Exactly.
so it's so I love your cap. You always had that cap since I've known you. How many years now? Like 26.
Oh my gosh, we've known each other long. Yeah, I would say because Macca's 28. No, we've known each other since like, okay, Caitlin was 5 and she's 32. So I'd say 28, 27 years, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We've
amazing.
been all around the world. Sylvia and even came to visit me in England. She had 3 young, like babies. She was still nursing her son Tristan at the time. Flies all the way to London from Montreal, comes there. I have Caitlin. I have a disabled daughter who's 32. She's, you know, pretty much like a 1-month-old baby. And Sylviane and her family has been very helpful and very supportive of Caitlin's life and her journey, and helped me so much
You
in
love her.
Montreal.
She's the beautiful, beautiful little
Yeah.
girl with her green eyes, little blonde
Yeah.
hair. Beautiful.
I know she is. She's adorable, really. But yeah, I think, you know, we met at that age, and it was an instant connection, instant friendship. And that's why it's so poignant that we go through these like major milestones, you know, little milestones, like we've both been divorced after very long-term relationships, had to do the whole co-parenting BS that, you know, no one loves. But now when you start to see that, you know what, there is a life after raising our children, there's an adult
Absolutely.
life, right? Adult life with our children now. I mean, my son Keegan and I, who's 24, we traveled up to Montreal just this last week and stayed with Sylviane, and all 5 of her kids made such a concerted or concentrated effort to host us, make time for us with their busy schedules. They're all working or studying, and hadn't met Keegan or seen Keegan since you came to London, right?
When he was a
Oh,
baby.
not only when she came to London, she was pregnant with Nathan, her baby, who's now just turned 21. So that shows you the level of dedication to come. And Caitlin at that point was in a body cast because of no, she wasn't in a body cast. She just had a perforated one of her adhesion surgeries. So, what surgery? It always sounds like I'm drunk. Surgery. Yeah, Aim, start with vodka in the morning and you'll do okay. But yeah, so we've been through like really major stuff. But the thing about our friendship and our relationship, it always seems to inspire and invigorate us too. You know?
Yes,
Here
to
comes my little
motivate
puppy.
each other, and we're just like, we're there for each other, right? I came to England, and then Caitlin was like, and that was not planned that Caitlin would have that
Yeah,
surgery, right? Who plans
exactly.
those medical problems, right? That it, and then it was
That's it.
just, and it was kind of crazy. You had me with at your house, like just, you know, remember we would hang all the laundry. You didn't have a dryer at that point.
And the radiators. Oh my God, we lived in like a salt box, didn't we? We came, my ex-husband, will I get like sued if I use his name? We could always call him the Rick instead of the Dick. Anyway, he was British, so we were over there because he was in aerospace, and we only had 4 kids at the time. I didn't have Tamsin, my 19-year-old. But so we had to rent this house that was like a tiny 3-bedroom, didn't even had a washer, right? Did it have a washer?
Yeah, you had a
no
washer.
dryer. Yeah.
No dryer.
No dryer, a refrigerator this big. Can you see it? This big.
Yeah.
For, you know, a family of 6. And I don't think we had a dishwasher, which was fine. But so Sylviane comes with her 3 kids pregnant, and we're all just like cramming everybody into the bedrooms. Like, I think we had 3 in our bed of our kids, and then you had 3 in your bed too.
Yeah.
In the other room.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit, it was awesome though. Those are such nice memories, the kids playing, and they were tiny, right? Of course, like toddlers and whatever. And then, you know, all the laundry, like hanging on those heaters.
From the
like,
radiators, as we call them. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. It looked like a tenement. Here we were with like, you know, baby, like cotton nappies, the little cotton nappies that you put on your babies and stuff. Those were hanging everywhere. I mean, it was pretty crazy. But that's indicative of our friendship, that like we can be put in any situation, any circumstance. And even if we're laughing, crying, stressed at any moment, we still end up laughing and making it like a good experience, which is something that I so cherish in our friendship.
Laughing.
And yeah. So tell me, I wanted to also hear about what's your perspective now? I know you said that you're invigorated and you feel really excited because now you've learned all of this about health and nutrition and menopause and, as I call it, the dry vagina syndrome. Everybody's got it.
Nobody talks about this. No, I mean,
know.
Not many people talk about this because it's a
taboo.
Private.
Yeah. You almost have to be a person that sells adult toys or is into eroticism or something to have a conversation maturely about like that. This is something we all go through as women, right? We all, you know, we get into that menopausal age, whether you're premenopausal or postmenopausal. And I'm sorry, but down there, it ain't happening like it usually does. So, you know,
it's not.
Girls, gals, everybody, you got to get with it and figure out what's going to work for you, because you don't want that to stop.
But then I thought that was one amongst many other motivators to just like, okay, this is our human body. I've given birth, you know, and you've given birth, and yes, there's pain, and then there's like different things, but then it always heals because because of our hormones. But the problem is not the problem, but aging comes. And this is what I want to, not that I want to defy aging. Actually, I want to beautify this phase.
Exactly.
Menopause actually means a new phase, a next phase. So this is,
Right.
this is our next phase. And yes, maybe the dry vagina is a real thing, but there's stuff,
Right.
there's some things we could do
To
with it,
use.
like
Right.
natural
Right.
stuff. Like, yes,
Exactly.
if there's, I'm not saying that there's nothing you could take, like, you know, some people take estrogen, like from like different hormones that are prescribed by doctors, and by all
Right.
means, like everybody to each his own. And that's what I'm very respectful of anything. I just think I could add to, like, I'm not saying don't go see your doctor. Actually, no, go see your doctor and come and see
Right.
me, and we could work in synergy. We could work together
Exactly.
and for your
Yep.
body. Because how do you feel? Are you stressed about the dry vagina? Because it's
Yeah.
not obvious. Like now I
Right.
talk to my new husband and we have such an open communication, and we're able to talk about this. And like,
Right.
hey, this is, and he listens. This is
Yeah.
also the difference, right? Like if you,
Right.
if it would have been with my ex, the communication was not as present, so
Exactly.
I wouldn't.
Wasn't as unconditional. It wasn't as safe, right?
No,
Because you
safe.
don't want to, if you're not safe in a relationship and you don't feel secure and supported, then the less you're going to share, the less you're going to be vulnerable for that person. Because if they're not protecting your heart, you're going to kind of, not say much to them.
And
And it
that's,
is a real deal,
it's a
right?
real deal. It's sexuality. I mean, it is, it's real. And I want to also, because I have 3 daughters, they're in their 20s, and I want them to be, you know, like safe in their relationship, whether it's with
Right.
whoever they choose for, you know, in their life, and to be able to communicate. Because yes, in your 20s, hormones, usually if you're a healthy 20-year-old, but this too, like with this pandemic and everything, I find that there's a lot of stress, and the stress affects our hormones. And we could do something about it with food. Like there's
Yeah.
different food.
Collagen. Weren't you talking about collagen? I bet
Collagen.
that would loosen her right up. What do you think? If I drank a shot of collagen, would I be like, all right, baby, let's get going? You think I would be? Because
Well,
I'll
maybe
do it.
not.
You know me, I'll try anything once.
Well, you would have to try maybe
Or maybe
1 month.
twice, 3 times, 4. I might try it more than once. Let's be real.
Every day, if you take a shot of collagen, a good collagen, you know, I don't want to make publicity here on any products, whatever, but
Right.
I mean, I believe, especially if you're premenopause, menopause, that could really help. And also for the youth. I know a lot of younger women that are using it for their skin, but it goes
Right.
above and beyond for us, premenopause, menopause, and after menopause, because like it or not, aging means that the cells are forming, or are still getting formed, but a lot slower. That's
That's it.
and
Right.
like
That's why we can't get pregnant, because those little things are turning into itty bitty raisins, right? They're just dry, pulverized, nothing. So we got to keep the juices rolling if we want to have a golden, or a semi or hopefully sexual passionate relationship for this latter half of our lives, right? Because we still want to feel it. Absolutely.
And one other thing, and since you're talking about this, Amy, because you're so open,
Yeah.
like
That's
if any of our fans,
there's no boundaries with me. I'll talk about anything.
like, another thing I'm reading is that, and it makes sense really, but I don't know if you've read this, that the
Right.
more often you do have sex, even if it's, let's say, more painful, hurts you, but if you have
Right.
it, like I'm talking about premenopause, menopause, more often you will, the more your skin will get used to it, and the more the juice, you're talking about the juice getting flowing, it will, because it's
Well, it helps too when you got a little sperm inside there too, wouldn't you say? That's going to get the juices flowing. You're going to stay nice and wet that way, I'd say. That would definitely get my juices flowing, and mine is as dry as the desert. Like I say, I'm a born again virgin now, I mean, it's just, it ain't happening, but I believe you totally. Because I know if I'm like, watching an erotic film, or I'm getting like in the mood, I can get myself going again. So,
No,
it's like,
for sure.
bravo.
we're not dead. We're a human
That's
being, and I
it.
think sexuality is part of our physical body, and it's also
Absolutely.
related to the emotional, very strongly linked for women,
Absolutely.
especially, and for men too. There's an
Yep.
emotional and psychological. So I think it's to be well rounded. So this is where